Chapter 5. And so the years passed. Sir Lancelot and the Queen continued their love affair. Many knights suspected what was happening. Very few of them, however, discussed the scandal openly. They were afraid of Sir Lancelot, and they did not want to wound Arthur. One evening, Sir Gawain and his brothers were talking together in a corner of the great hall. Sir Agravain suddenly began to talk loudly about the affair.
"I'm ashamed of us all,"
he said.
"We all know what is happening between Sir Lancelot and the Queen. It's a disgrace to the Round Table."
"You're right,"
agreed Sir Mordred eagerly.
"We should do something about it for the King's honour."
"What do you care about the King's honour?"
Sir Gawain asked Sir Mordred angrily.
"You just want to cause trouble."
"I'm going to speak to the King,"
Sir Agravain announced.
"I'm going to tell him everything."
Sir Gawain looked at his brothers sadly. He loved the Round Table, and he was very loyal to Arthur.
"If you speak to the King,"
he warned Sir Agravain,
"you'll destroy the whole Round Table."
"I agree,"
said Sir Gaheris.
"You mustn't do it."
Sir Gareth looked angrily at his brothers, Sir Agravain and Sir Mordred. He rose to his feet and walked away. Sir Gaheris and Sir Gawain also rose and followed him. Arthur had heard the angry voices and the noisy argument. He walked over to Sir Agravain and Sir Mordred.
"What was all that shouting about?"
he asked.
"We were discussing Sir Lancelot and the Queen,"
replied Sir Agravain. King Arthur sighed deeply. He knew what was coming. He had been told years before by Merlin that Queen Guinevere would betray him. He loved Guinevere, and Sir Lancelot was his favourite knight of the Round Table.
"People have talked about Sir Lancelot and the Queen before,"
he said warningly.
"but you know how good a knight Sir Lancelot is. He would kill anyone who made such an accusation."
"I have a plan,"
Sir Agravain said.
You are going hunting tomorrow morning,"
he reminded Arthur.
"I want you to stay out all day, and then send a message to the Queen that you will sleep away from the castle. Sir Lancelot is certain to go to the Queen's room tomorrow night if he thinks you are not in the castle. I'll be waiting for him with Sir Mordred and 12 other knights. We'll catch them together."
"Very well,"
agreed King Arthur.
"I'll stay away from the castle tomorrow night, as you suggest."
The next morning the king went hunting. He sent a message to Guinevere in the afternoon, telling her that he would not return to the castle that night. As evening fell, Sir Lancelot told Sir Bors that the Queen had sent for him.
"Don't go,"
Sir Bors said quickly. Sir Lancelot looked at his friend in surprise.
"What do you mean?"
he asked coldly.
"I told you the Queen has sent for me. Do you expect me to disobey her?"
"Be careful.
Sir Bors warned.
Sir Agravain has been watching you recently. Please, be careful."
Sir Lancelot walked to the Queen's room. He took a sword with him, but he was not wearing any armour. He knocked on the door and entered silently. After a few minutes, footsteps could be heard in the corridor outside the Queen's room. Sir Agravain banged heavily on the door.
"Come out, traitor knight!"
he cried loudly.
"Come out from the Queen's room, Sir Lancelot!"
Guinevere looked desperately at Sir Lancelot. "What shall we do?" she cried. "If they catch you in here, they'll kill you, and they'll burn me at the stake." Sir Lancelot picked up his sword.
"Listen to me,"
he said to the Queen.
"They may kill me, but my friends here at the court will save you from the stake. You won't burn because of me. Sir Bors will protect you, my lady.
The banging on the door continued.
Come out, Sir Lancelot,
Cried Sir Agravain.
Come out, traitor knight!
Shouted Sir Mordred. Sir Lancelot opened the door of the room just wide enough for one knight to enter. A figure in full armour rushed in and attacked Sir Lancelot. Sir Lancelot struck the knight a great blow on the head with his sword, and the man fell to the ground dead. Then Sir Lancelot closed the door. He stood over the knight's body and began to remove his armour.
Help me.
He whispered to the Queen. She came to his side and helped him to put on the heavy armour. Sir Lancelot strode to the door and flung it wide open. Sir Agravain, Sir Mordred, and the remaining 11 knights attacked him fiercely. Sir Lancelot struck them down one by one until only Sir Mordred was left alive. He was wounded and he suddenly fled. Sir Lancelot went back into the Queen's room.
This is the end of everything for us.
He told her sadly.
The king will be my enemy from now on. I've killed 13 knights of the Round Table.
You must go while you can, Guinevere told him. It's not safe for you here.
You're in danger too,
Sir Lancelot said.
Why don't we escape together?
No, the Queen replied. I shall stay here at the court. If they try to burn me at the stake, I'm sure you'll come to save me. Chapter 6. Sir Lancelot made his way quickly from the Queen's room to Sir Bors.
Now King Arthur will go to war against me,
he said sadly.
Against you and all your friends.
Sir Bors added.
There are many knights who will take your part in the quarrel.
It means the end of the Round Table,
Sir Lancelot told him. Sir Mordred went to tell King Arthur what had happened.
13 knights!
He shouted angrily.
Sir Lancelot has killed 13 knights of the Round Table.
13?
The king cried in astonishment. Arthur was heartbroken at the thought that he and Sir Lancelot were now enemies. He knew that Sir Lancelot was the best knight in the world. He also knew that many of Sir Lancelot's friends would join him in the war. Then he remembered the Queen. He would have to give the order for her to be burnt at the stake. She had been caught with Sir Lancelot, and the law was clear about what should happen to her. Sir Gawain tried to persuade King Arthur not to be too hasty in judging the Queen.
She may be innocent.
He argued.
Perhaps they've done nothing wrong at all. Besides,
He added,
if anyone accuses the Queen, Sir Lancelot will fight for her.
He will not fight for the Queen again.
King Arthur said bitterly.
Sir Lancelot relies too much on his strength and skill as a knight. But I have decided to apply the law in this case. The Queen was caught by Sir Mordred and the other knights. She will burn at the stake. And if I capture Sir Lancelot, he too will die a terrible death.
Then I hope you never find him.
Sir Gawain said.
How can you defend him?
King Arthur asked angrily.
Don't you mind that he killed one of your brothers and wounded another?
Sir Agravain was a good knight.
Sir Gawain admitted.
But I warned him not to go to the Queen's room with Sir Mordred. I told them they were in the wrong.
The day of Guinevere's execution arrived. King Arthur asked Sir Gawain to escort the Queen to the place of execution with his brothers, Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth.
No, my lord,
Sir Gawain replied.
I refuse to go to the execution of such a noble queen.
King Arthur bowed his head. He was secretly proud of Sir Gawain's response to the order.
At least tell Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth to be there,
he said sternly. Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth agreed to escort the Queen, but they refused to wear their armour.
"We will go as men of peace,"
they said. The Queen was taken to the place of execution, and the fire was prepared. There was a crowd of knights around the Queen, some of them armed, and some not. Suddenly, there was a great shout, and the sound of horses approaching at a gallop. Sir Lancelot rode furiously towards the Queen. He took out his sword and attacked the knights who were surrounding her. He fought fiercely and killed many members of the Round Table. He even killed the two unarmed knights, Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth. Sir Lancelot killed them without noticing who they were or that they were unarmed. Sir Lancelot came up to the Queen and threw a cloak around her shoulders. Then he pulled her onto his horse and rode away. Chapter 7. Queen Guinevere and Sir Lancelot went to his castle, Joyous Gard. Many knights of the Round Table joined them. They admired Sir Lancelot, and they felt that he had been right to rescue the Queen. When King Arthur heard that Guinevere had been rescued, and that many of his knights had been killed by Sir Lancelot, he did not know what to feel. Part of him was glad that Guinevere had been saved from the fire, and he was proud that Sir Lancelot had saved her. However, he was appalled that Lancelot had killed the two unarmed knights, Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth.
"I don't know why Sir Lancelot killed them,"
he told his knights.
"They refused to wear their armour because they wanted to show the world that they had no quarrel against him."
Sir Lancelot killed them by mistake,
explained one of the knights who had seen Guinevere's rescue.
There were many people around the Queen when Sir Lancelot came to rescue her. Some of them were armed and others were not. Sir Lancelot just took out his sword and attacked everyone. He didn't mean to kill Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth. He didn't see them in the crowd.
"You may be right,"
the king agreed.
"but we will now have a terrible war. The Round Table will be completely destroyed."
Meanwhile, Sir Gawain had also heard the news that the Queen had been rescued.
Sir Lancelot has done well.
He told the knight who brought the news.
He was right to rescue the Queen from a shameful death at the fire.
There is more news, sir.
The knight told him.
It is about your two brothers, Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth.
What news?
Sir Gawain asked eagerly.
Why are they not here to tell me themselves?
They are dead, sir.
The knight explained.
Sir Lancelot killed them both when he rescued the Queen.
Impossible!
Cried Sir Gawain.
I can't believe that Sir Lancelot would kill my two brothers. They were friends of his, and they were not wearing armour.
It is true all the same.
The knight repeated.
Sir Lancelot killed them both.
Sir Gawain went to see King Arthur.
I promise you,
Sir Gawain told the king,
that I shall never rest until I have found Sir Lancelot and fought against him. It must be a fight to the death. Him or me.
King Arthur now summoned all the remaining knights of the Round Table and led a great army to Sir Lancelot's castle. They besieged the castle, and King Arthur challenged Sir Lancelot and his knights to come out and fight.
"Sir Lancelot!"
shouted the king.
"You are my enemy, and either you or I must die. You have taken my queen, and you have killed some of the best knights of the Round Table. You're a traitor!"
Sir Lancelot leaned over the castle walls to reply to the king.
My noble lord and king,
He cried.
you may say what you like to me, but I shall never fight against you. It is true that I have taken the queen, but I saved her from a shameful death. It is also true that I killed some of the knights of the Round Table, but I did that to save the queen's life.
"You betrayed me for years with the queen.
Arthur accused him.
I gave you friendship and made you the most famous knight in the world. Yet you betrayed me. I'll never forgive you.
The Queen is innocent.
Sir Lancelot replied.
I will fight any knight who accuses her, except for you and Sir Gawain.
Enough fine words, traitor!
Cried Sir Gawain.
Come out from the castle and fight!